Follow along, Catholic Pilgrims, as we follow French Doctor of the Church, St. Francis de Sales, through his book, Introduction to the Devout Life. Tune in as we read through this practical guide for living out the Catholic faith well. Hello, Catholic Pilgrims. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you all know how much I appreciate you following along with me. Today is another short reading, and we will be reflecting on the excellence of virtue. So let's open our books to chapter 11 of the fifth part. Chapter 11, Second Reflection, the Excellence of Virtue. Reflect that virtue and devotion alone can satisfy your soul in this world. Behold how lovely they are. Consider the virtues and their opposing vices. How precious is patience compared with revenge, gentleness compared with anger and passion, humility compared with arrogance and ambition, liberality compared with avarice, charity compared with envy, temperance compared with excess. For one admirable property attendant on acts of virtue is, that they leave an exceeding delight and sweetness in the soul after their practice, whereas acts of vice leave her injured and enfeebled. Why then do we not seek to acquire such satisfaction? In vice, he who has made some progress is not satisfied, and he who has made much is dissatisfied. But he who follows after virtue is well pleased from the first, and his contentment constantly increases. O life of devotion, how lovely and pleasant, how soothing and winning thou art! Thou softenest our trials and enhancest our delights. Without thee, good is evil, pleasure full of uneasiness, fears, and failures. Truly, whosoever knoweth thee might say with the woman of Samaria, Lord, give me this water. An aspiration very frequently on the lips of the Holy Mother Teresa and of St. Catherine of Genoa in their various needs. We live in a time when a lot of people don't even pretend anymore to want to live virtuous lives. We live in a world where also numerous people don't hide the fact that they think vice is better than virtue. We also live in a world where people like to tout that they wouldn't commit a certain vice, but it's fine that others do. And we hear this one the most often with abortion. Well, I wouldn't have an abortion, but who am I to tell others not to? It's literally like saying, well, I wouldn't murder anyone, but who am I to tell others that they can't? We treat vice like it's just an indifferent thing. Maybe you like to do a certain thing, but I don't, but oh well. With morals, something cannot be right and wrong at the same time. It's either right or it's wrong. It cannot be both. Either killing innocent children is right or it's wrong. It's not an indifferent opinion type of subject. Either adultery is right or it's wrong. Vice is never more right than virtue. Never. But in our crazy world, people have tried to confuse the matter, and it's really not confusing. There has never been a time in your life where you have lived out a virtue and regretted it. Never. But there have been plenty of times when you've engaged in a vice and regretted it. St. Francis says, quote, in vice, he who has made some progress is not satisfied, and he who has made much is dissatisfied. But he who follows after virtue is well pleased from the first, and his commitment constantly increases. Vice is always easy to choose. Virtue oftentimes is hard to live out, but hard does not equal wrong. In fact, usually, the harder something is and the more sacrifice and struggling it requires of us, the better it is for us. That is all for today, Catholic Pilgrims. Next time, we will talk about the examples of the saints, and until then, live the faith boldly and travel well.